Hello and welcome to my world as we continue to go through my collection of various media and things. And today we're going to go through more of my DVD collection, but we're going to go through two of these cases, as you probably saw in the thumbnail. We're going to go through two because in some cases it's series. So it's like, oh, the individual volumes, talk about them and stuff like that. Now, again, it's an inventory, see what I have and so forth. And in some cases, you can obviously tell what I have if you can see from a distance away here. It's like you can probably tell to some degree. You probably need like to zoom in and so forth. You can probably easily tell that's the Rocky box set, 1 through 5, right, literally right there, because even I can recognize that one from a distance. So let's go through bag number one here. I need to flip it this way. It also allows me a chance to reorganize it a bit. In some cases, I'm not going to pull them all out here. Start over on the extreme right hand side. We got Ghost in the Shell special edition. So, and this one has like that weird like sleeve on it. So it's like a bit of a fold out with the with it, so it folds out a bit. As a matter of fact, from the back side, it definitely looks good. It's like everything from it is like I always try to keep all the like inserts and stuff together. Probably just made a mistake in terms of getting this out of its little dust cover, whatnot. It's like the prover was complete in box. Now I can't get it back in. Like special edition is like, yeah, so special you don't want to take it out of its thing at any circumstances. So yeah, that was a mistake. Then again, you know me, I go live to hard drive and up to YouTube. We also have Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, and this was it's like what the absolute. This is one of the absolute best films you'll see this year, according to Harry Knowles of Ain't It Cool News. I just remember this one being fucking weird as hell, and this one doesn't have the English dub. This was straight subtitles, so I don't know. That may have had an influence on my opinion here. We also have 1 through 7. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex volumes 1 through 7. Obviously not in the right order here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it wasn't until recently I managed to actually track down volume 7. So it's volume 7. See, I've never seen the final few episodes of this, but was able to track down volume 7 a couple years ago. So we have that. We even have more Ghost in the Shell things here, and this was another case of really not being able to find stuff. Matter of fact, the standalone complex season 2 is completely sealed. So this is volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. All right, but here's the kicker. Here are volumes 5 and 6, which is the special edition versions that have some sort of stand-in figure. So these are sealed and so forth. So I'm like, because sometimes I want to watch them, and it's like I'm thinking like that YouTube content reaction to this type of stuff. It's like, wait, do I really want to open these, or should I try and track down um, the non-special edition version of these two? So if you got thoughts on that, put them in the comment section down below. Would much appreciate your insight there. Another complete series. This is why we're doing two bags on this run here. And then it's another series where I had had a hard time finding all the volumes. And matter of fact, I have two duplicates. Chrono Crusade volumes 1 through 7. I have two copies of volume 4. Not even sure how or why. So obviously I would not have seen the which one of these are sealed? I think yes, volume 6 and 7 are sealed, which I have not seen. So a completely unrelated, underrated series. We have the Devil Lady, the complete collection. Very underrated series. It's when I was doing reviews on my original YouTube channel, which I nuked. I was actually going through this series one by one. It was like my reaction videos at the time was basically with screenshots and everything talking about it. Had my notes and stuff, and that's what I hear. It's a two in one. We have Inuku the movie on one side, and then Yu Yu Hakusho the movie. Kind of a weird one here. It's like you get two movies. So it's like it's a flip one way, flip the other way. So it's like they have two movies on one disc. That's not gonna fall over, and I'll put them in. It's like I want to put them in the other way. So that's all in one thing. So obviously some complete series stuff I have not watched, stuff that are still sealed, and we'll see what. So on to the second one here, and again, this is gonna be. We have a couple more complete series in this one. Some that was recently completed in recent years, not recent weeks or months, just years. So go with a series that everyone knows and Neon Genesis Evangelion, the platinum versions. I'm not sure was volumes 1 through 7, so the complete series. And let me tell you this: when these were coming out, these were hard to find. It's like I had a pre. I remember having to pre-order at Suncoast Video to get volumes 5, 6, and 7. It's like they were that hard to find at the time when they were being released originally. We have like the box set, the Neon Genesis Evangelion Death and Rebirth the end of Evangelion. So the two disc excuse me the two disc set. So it's like a movie set. Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, incredible. It's like I believe it's like required by law for anybody who's been into anime for any stretch of time to at least have this in your collection. So yep. So it's boy, some of these things are just really wedged in there. Like they've been in their cases so long, they're tough to remove. Uh, Technically a Disney film, one of the few Disney films actually I have on DVD. What's this? Hayao Miyazaki's Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. So again, one of the few Disney DVDs that I actually have. I'm about to say I knew I watched this because it's unsealed. Let's see what's next here. Ah, yes, a complete series here, and again, this is another one where where I had to literally track down the final two volumes. So I've never seen like how this series ended, but Gungrave complete series, so volumes 1 through 7, and yeah, trying to track down volume 6 and 7 years after this series was released on DVD was a real challenge. It's uh, like I then again, I always try to go for like new copies. It's like getting DVDs and stuff used is like, ooh, it's like what a condition you're getting. You don't know if they're gonna work or not. So it's like, all right, these I'll be able to talk a little bit more individually. Going to guys, Cutie Honey. This Cutie Honey has one of the greatest anime theme songs of all time. It's a very catchy tune. Outright incredible. I really wish that Cutie Honey was a full series because the episodes of the OVAs here, it's like you basically, it's like the two discs are basically middle and end stories. It's like this one, what was it? You get 4 episodes, and they basically are self-contained on that. And then you have to jump to the second disc, which has its own episodes, which clearly take place well after the events of the first half. Um, so it's a very great series. The humor, the over the top designs, Honey as a character and a protagonist is just very likable, not because of the fan service. She is definitely, without question, a kick ass hero. It's like you just happen to get the fan service to go along with it, and I have no issues with fan service. Not as a teenager, and sure as hell not now. Super Atragon. Wow, I only remember watching this maybe once. I thought it was okay. I should definitely give this another watch at some point, but I don't fully remember it. I thought it was okay. So I personally I want to re-watch this again at some point. I have plenty of ways to do it too, in terms of like DVD players. Blood Rain, Curse of the what's that? Of the Yoma. One warrior against the army of death. It's another one only remember watching once, and I thought it was I thought it was good, but I never watched it again. It's like so so like that's gonna be the case in some cases here. It's like if I decide to do reaction videos and stuff, this will be kind of like the things I would watch because there are things I've seen hundreds of times. Okay, exaggeration, dozens of times, and then there are things I've only seen one time. Ninja Resurrection. I remember this being very very good, but I only watched it like maybe twice. So it's 'cause normally at the time was like when I was really into anime for a good time, there was like grab it and watch it, grab it and watch it, but that it just literally moving on to the next thing. Slayers, the motion picture, and funny enough, Slayers was ended up being a topic of discussion on I think it was Crystal's channel, the person who is they stream in the mornings, at least mornings my time. And I think they're doing like a Dragon Ishi, and they just did a Fire Emblem Engage. So Crystal, just look up Crystal. I think this came up in a topic of discussion, but I can't remember fully. And I remember watching this again only once. It's but, find what it is there. Oh yeah, the good stuff here. Crisis Tokyo 2440 volumes 1 through 3 complete series. One of my all-time favorite anime outright. Originally I saw this on what would have been Encore Action back in the 90s. And then years later I get the DVDs and I watched through them. I remember watching through these a couple years ago because I was doing like my on my old YouTube channel reactions to all of the episodes one by one, and it holds up great. It has a banger soundtrack. I think I even have the soundtrack in my CD collection. I'll have to trust me. I got VHS tapes. I got DVDs. You don't think I have a CD collection? Most of those I put in like books and binders and stuff. But I still and I have to get more of those binders because I have discovered another box filled with CDs I want to break down and put into binders and so forth. But this was uh, a great series with a great build, great soundtrack. With me, it's in my top 10 of anime series that I've watched, and because I can sit and watch Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 at any given time. I mean, it is that good. If you disagree with me, well, guess what? You're wrong. And this is my channel, my world, and my opinions. What matters here, particularly as it relates to that. Uh, All right, something must have ended up in a different bag, but on volume 3 of Peacemaker, and I know I had volumes 1 and 2. Those must have gotten lost over the years. But I remember getting this because I was getting Chrono Crusade, and I was trying to get those at the same time. So I don't know why I don't have volume 1 and 2 of this. So eventually I will have to track down volumes 1 and 2. And I don't really remember this series much. We only got a few more in here. Plastic Little, The Adventures of Captain T-Top. With a name like that and box art like that, it's like, yeah. Definitely a game that was a anime that definitely you can tell was living up to the suggested for 17 plus. Can I remember watching this only once? We'll definitely have to sit and give it a proper watch through again at some point. I don't know if this is the complete series of this or not. Probably not. Then again, it's like is what is there. We got Gundam Wing volumes 1 through 4. And clearly I got this one used and the other 3 I got new at the time. But that's all I kind of remember. Like open up volume 4. Does it break down? And there were probably more volumes to this, but I think I lost the interest in it because Gundam Ring kind of had like I think if memory serves me right, because it's been a long time since I actually sat down and watched any Gundam series. I'm trying to remember this one. It started off fairly good, and then I felt like it kind of dragged a bit. But again, it's been a long time, and I'm not even sure if I have the complete set of that. But at least I have the first 4 volumes, if there are more. Gundam Wing the movie, Endless Waltz. I remember the hype for this being extremely like intense. Like everybody was talking about it as being something must see, and I thought it was okay. But that's essentially about it. Like at least in terms of the movie. But it also is broken down in like episode versions too. So maybe there was like two versions of it. Because I'm trying to remember, did Endless Watch premiere on Toonami on television? And then the DVD came out. I'm struggling to remember if that was the case because I remember it being a Toonami and it was really being pushed hard. Like there was a lot of there was a strong push for it, at least in terms of the DVD release. But I don't remember anything beyond that. And one thing in here is not anime related, but it is animation. Superman Doomsday, which in terms of like the uh death of Superman and the return of Superman is like a real condensed version of it. So it's like, oh, because like I remember being somewhat disappointed in it, but then you have an animated original movie that is not really playing into the whole death of Superman story arc, which was, and particularly the reign of Superman and the return of Superman, was like a whole big deal, at least for me, in my youth. But treating it as not being based on like it as being inspired by the storyline, okay, it's a fine film. But if you're thinking of it as like a straight one-to-one adaptation of it, like it's not. And I just remember being disappointed in that regard because I wanted to see John Henry Irons and what ended up being Superboy and the Eradicator. I think the Eradicator kind of influenced here as well as the Hank Henshaw, or what was it? The Cyborg Superman. It was kind of referenced like being merged of into it, but yeah, there you go. So those what's in these boxes. So we got like complete series. So that's why I did two bags. And in some cases, like some stuff I have not seen. Stuff is completely sealed. But that is what it is there. So if there was something in the collection that you remember watching or so forth there, and if you want to tell me how much you agree with me that Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 is awesome and it has an incredible soundtrack, be sure to put those comments in the comment section. I would say like and subscribe, but mm, why? It's like I don't do that on other channels when I hear the prompt, and they shove those like in the middle of it. I use it here at the end as to make fun of that entire thing, and also to make YouTube happy that it gets said. Like which I say to them. So on that note, my friends, thank you very much. Tighten your friendship bracelet. Stay safe, and we'll see y'all in the next video.